If you're to buy a packet of maize meal and cook ugali right now, it would be the most expensive ugali ever made in Kenya. Why, you ask? Well, the price of maize meal has risen to a historic high of 152 shillings for a 2-kilogram pack, setting the stage for an increase in inflationary pressure despite the National Treasury CS Henry Rotich's attempt to stop this through tax cuts in the budget statement. This is the first time in Kenya that the price of maize meal has touched the 153 shilling mark, going past the 2011 peak of 150 shillings. The latest price surge has been attributed to a shortage of maize that has seen a 90-kilogram bag sell at a record high of 4,500 shillings from 3,800 shillings at the end of last year. However, as at today, the prices of a 90-kilogram bag of maize have started falling, according to government data, where a 90-kilogram bag of maize in Eldoret is now selling at 3,500 shillings, which is 1,000 shillings less than the price it sold for last week. The effects of this face the risk of being short-lived, as for instance, Kenya is expecting maize from Ethiopia, which is being shipped in at the price of 4,300 shillings per 90-kilogram bag. Now, on that same note and high price, Kenyans may just be paying the cost of the government's inaction. Maize farmers in the Rift Valley say they foresaw the cost of record-breaking maize prices coming and waited for the government to intervene. Now, much as the state knew and has known of the presence of factors that promised to bring about the high cost of maize meal, the Water and Irrigation CS Eugene Wamalwa now says that it is time the government looked into the issue now. This was part of the conversation on the Nation Media Group Leadership Forum, focusing on food security and water, which was airing on NTV just before this news bulletin.
The issue of food prices and a packet of unga being that high is really the reality. When you go to our neighbors in Uganda, the same packet of unga, if you're living this side of Busia and you have a relative the other side of Busia, you'd get a packet of unga maybe at 80 or 90 shillings. So I think really these are issues we need to start looking at. And Galana Kulalu Food Security Project was one of those flagship projects that was supposed to address this issue. But as you know, we also faced challenges with this project, because initially the idea was to produce maize and take unga to the shelves at half the price. And I can tell you tonight that we have already completed a test run to the end, and a packet of unga galana would cost 75 shillings, which would be less than the half the price you've talked about, 153.
We actually watched the prices of unga rising. And after much discussion amongst literally almost any farmer that had maize in Eldoret, we knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to be a record-breaking year for unga on the shelf. And we were basically sitting around wondering, when is the government going to intervene? At the same time, wondering from a farmer perspective, what could we have done better to actually produce maybe a bit more maize?
From our studies we have done on allocation of budget to agriculture by county governments, we've found that on average they're putting 6%. When we count 6%, that comes 0.8 of the national budget. There was estimates that were given last week. That is only about 2.5. So in total this year, we are putting between 2.5 and 3% of our budget into agriculture. And we are an agricultural economy. We are expecting manufacturing and services to build on the multiplier effects that come from agriculture. I think we better be serious.